Last 2 days of the season. Just woke up, got my clothes on, truck's running, look outside, and it's snowing. It's not supposed to, so it should be, I don't know, maybe an inch at elevation. So the plan is to park at the gate since they shut all the forestry roads. I'll park at one of the gates that I actually ended up shooting at a buck a couple weeks ago now. And I'm just going to hike that road in the dark with my headlamp, start walking up the road, see if anything cut through there. Hopefully, get at least one big buck track, cut it on the road. If not, I'll just keep walking all the way to the end, get up on the hillside, and see if anything's been feeding out in the log cuts. That's the plan today. We're down to the wire at this point. Tried so many different things. This year has just been an absolute grind. I mean, not getting snow early on that made it tough. I have hunted snow probably 4 or 5 days this year, which has made a big difference. I've seen bucks almost every day. So as long as we can find a fresh buck track, we can get on a deer.
You can see the bear paw, the old man on his back, prickly pears blooming in the short lady's lap. There's a bunch of empty beer cans and an old spindle sack.
I've been walking up this trail for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes already. And there are deer tracks everywhere. It seems like the deer are down low. I've cut a couple tracks that I think they're probably bucks, but they're so filled in because it's been snowing, fluffy snow, probably for a couple hours now. They're so filled in I can't really tell. And even still, like if you're on a big buck, they usually got like a shovel foot and they're dragging pretty good. So those grooves in between tracks are significant. I haven't found anything like that yet. I got a crossing right back here that is a buck that I would shoot 100%. It's not that new, so I'm going to keep going up the road for a little bit. If I can't cut something fresher, I'll come back on him, but I mean, a lot of deer signing here. There are definitely a lot of deer down here. More deer than I expected, so I feel good. I got a toe dragger over on the bank there and a toe dragger right here. I'm gonna see if this is the same buck. Reasonably fresh, not super old. I gotta make sure he's going up. It does look like he's going up based on the toe drag, but I think this deer's got a decent rack on him if I can catch up to him. So we're gonna see how old both of these tracks are and then get going on them. Got a bed right here. It's been snowing all morning, so that can't be that old. I gotta figure out what direction this deer exits. I know for a fact he goes that way. I did not see fresh tracks crossing the road, so I'm thinking he's probably up top. Just gotta make sure I get going on him so that I'm not wasting time. But I don't want to mess up and start following him in the wrong direction. That would be so pointless. He spent some time in here though. This looks like his exiting track. Let's see where it goes. It's a light skate, then heavy press. Looks like 2 dew claws in the back, and then it's sort of pointed out in the front. I'm pretty sure this is heading that way. other bed is just right down there. Might have a shot at shooting this thing. Oh yeah, that's a buck. Hell yeah. Whew. Alright, let's fill this friggin' tag. I'm on my second fresh buck bed. Knelt down, grabbed some snow, smelt it. He's rotten. He's probably gonna be on his feet still looking for does, even though it's late season. You know, the bed's decent. It really is decent. So I'm optimistic that we can kill this thing today. He's going up the hill. Just gotta get on him. Not a lot of snow in the bed. And it's been snowing since I got up this morning. So I'm gonna take a piss and get on this buck. Got all day, so we'll go nice and slow. He's already bedded down twice, so that makes me think that he's either waiting for some does because the does all hang down on this knob, or he, sort of came down and wanted to check things out, and he's going to be back up top. Andrew and I tracked a buck to the top of this ridge a couple weeks ago. Got a shot at him. He's a decent deer, so I'm hoping it's this one. This is the exciting part about buck hunting. You just never know what you're going to encounter. I hiked all the way out here. I was starting to get discouraged. I'm not seeing sign, and I'm like, this could be a waste of time. Bam, fresh buck track. He's dragging pretty good. Nice big bed. Smells ruddy. Like we're already in the game. Just gotta get on him. Bed, and I jumped him. That's crazy. He was right here the whole time. That other bed was right there. He walked straight down and then came right back up and bedded. Son of a bitch. I can't get a buck on his feet this year. Every single encounter they're laying down. Every single encounter. I'm gonna kill this deer. It's a pretty decent bed. It sucks. He looked real comfortable. Must have been knocked out when I came up on him. Alright, I'm just gonna try to pay attention here. Watch these hardwoods. I'm gonna give it like give it to like 8:45. If I don't see him, I'm moving. I am throwing lead at this buck if I get an opportunity. Alright, we're in the game nice and early. This buck checked his back trail, sort of stood in place for a little while. He's been walking for a good clip. I feel like this is going to be an explosion of action when I finally see him. But I'm hoping he stays on his feet and feeds. This buck got off this log road and is dropping into a softwood knob. His tracks are going right down there up into that area. I'm going to go around and see if he's on the other side. If he walked right through, we'll get right back on the track. If he didn't, we know he's in there. And he's watching this way, so I'm going around him. What did I say? I knew he was in there. I came high and he bailed right below this depression. And he's going straight up the ridge towards where I shot at that other one 2 weeks ago. Following the exact same track. Watch, we'll get over here, there'll be a bed. So frustrating because he came right up down that hill, and instead of me following him, I went that way, and I still didn't even see that buck. He must have got my wind though. I just gotta keep on him. He's a decent deer for sure. Damn, I really wanted to catch him in his bed. I knew he was gonna lay down. The second he dipped off that log road and got into the softwood, I was like, he's only gonna exit high. They always do. And when they go high, he's gonna exit either right in front of me or I'm gonna shoot him in his bed. I was standing right there when I found his running tracks. Alright, so this is bed number 4. This buck got up here. Didn't feed at all until he got into the softwood. I saw him coming up the softwood and decided to go around on the high side, anticipating 1, an exit, or 2, I was going to sneak up behind him with the wind in my favor. Well, I get probably perpendicular to his bed and I find running tracks, and I come down here and bam, there's his bed. So we gotta give it some time. Friggin' fighter jets overhead. It's 10:18. At 10:30 we'll get back on this buck and see if we can't track him up top. Last time we jumped him, or one of them, on this area, he brought me up to the top of the ridge, bedded down with the wind in his favor, but the wind was in our favor because he went high and then dropped down. If he does that again, we'll kill this deer. I don't think I jumped this buck. I think he's just being skittish. The softwood knob is 50 yards over there. We already got like trotting tracks. Like he's already slowing down. We'll see how long he rips it up for. I know for a fact they bed right up there, so I hope he brings me around up over the top. Bed's maybe 20 yards from the top, and I can shoot him in his bed facing downhill. Wind in his face. No. Oh no. I think I shot a fucking tree. I thought I had a clear shot on that. You gotta be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. This is bed number 5. This buck has brought me way out here. Just a big body deer. Followed him all the way up this ravine. He brought me way out through this super thick softwood and then immediately went uphill, and I really slowed down. I'm like, I need to just creep 4 low up the hill. So I'm creeping up the hill, and the buck's bed is right there to my left, just like, I don't know, maybe 10 yards. So I see it get up, and it takes like 1, 2, 3 trots, 4 trots, and I took a running shot and smoked this tree. Bullet went straight through the backside. No blood yet on the track, but I'm gonna take it easy here for a second. I haven't really hiked that far up to see if it did make it through and hit the deer. The deer was not very far behind it, but that's pretty wild. That's a first for me. I thought I had a perfectly clear shot. Of course, I'm shooting through all these sort of lanes down here, so it's tight. But I'm gonna do some water, a quick snack, and then get back on this deer. Let's see, what time is it? 11:51. This season has been a grind. I'm still in shock. Man, this deer tracking stuff is just, it's so electric. Like, you get fresh snow, you just got to get out there, especially if you live in a low deer density area, and just go look for them. I mean, I see bucks every time I get on snow for the most part. I've had, I think, 2 days out of like, I think seven days tracking where I didn't see any deer. This was the first like semi-decent shot that I had. I was confident. I'm like, oh, I just smoked that thing double long. Oh, you could see the lead. Like, I use a 300 Winchester short mag, 180 grain. I actually built this gun for elk, and when I came home, instead of buying a deer gun, I was like, let's see how this thing does. Usually it drops them where they stand. So I'm gonna get on this deer and see if it circles back towards the truck. It's noon, so I've got time. Man, I mean, New Hampshire is just frustrating. I knew I was gonna kill a deer today, or I was gonna kill something. Apparently I'm gonna kill a tree because this thing is smoked. Next windstorm, this thing, it's gonna go in half. It's gonna break right in half. The journey continues. What a wild event. 65 yards or so. Basically got up out of its bed, went left, and it started making its way on the front face of this ridge. I'm just gonna give it a second. It didn't run off. It just kind of got up, like moved around a little bit, and started walking. But it looked like there may have been 2 deer up there, so I gotta be really careful about which one's the buck. Because last time we tracked a deer out this way, it brought us to the front of this ridge. We were only tracking a buck. And we come up over the top of the ridge, and all of a sudden there goes a doe, and there goes a buck. I'm like, shit. So I'm gonna drink some water because I'm getting thirsty, and then I'll just keep on this deer. I can't believe I saw it again after shooting. I saw it literally get up, turn, and take off. I think I broke his stick, and that's what alerted it. But it's definitely, this deer is watching its back trail now big time. I mean, I don't know how big this thing is. Be giant, decent. It looked like it had a nice body on it. Well, we're already at the top of the mountain. Got like a couple hours until it's dark out. Seen this deer twice, shot at it once. This is bed number 6. I mean, the truck's that way, so I'll keep going on it. But my legs are starting to get a little tired. And this thing's going through some woods that really a big rack buck can't go through, so I didn't see how big his rack was last time. It just looked like he maybe had like a little basket 8. I guess just keep going. Facing me. I'm gonna let this deer go. What time is it? Let's see what time it is. Yeah, 3:41. Almost took me 2 hours to catch up to him both times. I think this is bed number 7. And I'm gonna let this buck go. It's probably almost 4 o'clock. I think it's like 3:50. The last 2 beds that I've found, he's been just watching his backtrack, and we're out in open hardwoods at this point. So he's gonna see me before I get to him. It's taking me about 2-hour increments to catch up to him, see him, shoot at him, or see him. So I don't have enough time to get back on this deer, and I got a long ways to go before I get back to the truck. Really bummed out. I mean, I worked really hard today. I freaking put a giant hole in something like that. And there's not much you can do when you're tracking. Like, sometimes you've got to take the shot that you have and it looks clear, but there's something in the way. Maybe you thought it was clear at 30 yards or something in the way at 60 yards, whatever. I mean, that tree was right in front of that deer. I didn't even see it. So it didn't even matter. The buck was running. I'm gonna cut back down to the truck, get down to that forestry road and head out of here. Go take care of the dog. We got tomorrow. I gotta see how I'm feeling. There's one more day. Might as well figure out where I can get on something. Only caught one fresh track today. And it's been like that like pretty frequently. I know where I can get on some deer. I think we got some snow coming in tomorrow. So I don't know. It's been a battle of a year. This has been a battle. I think I've seen 4 bucks, shot at 2. Really tough tracking this year. Not a lot of buck sign, just not a lot of big bucks. I feel like I normally get on like 2 or 3 like bruiser type bucks each year, and it was a struggle to even find those tracks. We did find one of those tracks and tracked him for 2 days, but I only saw him probably before, like 3 minutes before it got dark, so it was game over. Anyway, still finding beds. Good enough. Saw a deer today. Good enough. We'll count the wins. Shot the gun. Let the gun eat. Didn't get it on camera though. I mean, this is happening so fast. I haven't been able to catch it on film yet. Anyway, let's saddle up, get down the mountain, and go eat some dinner. I haven't eaten anything today. All right. You win today.